Hi, I'm Bryn Davies. We're here in sunny Tyndrum in Scotland, ready for the Highland Trail 550 race. And this is my bike that I'll be using during the 550-mile course. So the frame is a Merida 96 8000 carbon downcountry frame in a size medium. I'm running the SID Ultimate 120mm forks up front and 100mm shock on the rear, which makes it a pretty comfy ride. So I'm running a stock Merida dropper post here, which is a cable dropper post. No problems at all with it. Like it just works, it's simple. And on top of that, I've got the Prologo Scratch Mark V saddle. Again, it came with the bike, but I really get on with it nicely. It's got a cutout, not too much padding. It just works for me, so that's why I'm running it. So the wheels are 29-inch carbon. They're from Reynolds. On those, I've got the Hutchinson Krakens in a 2.3-inch width with some WTB sealant. I'm running them at about 25, 26 PSI with the idea that over the few days, I'm going to lose a couple of PSI. So hopefully by the end, I'll be running about 18 to 20 PSI. The handlebars are from Merida again, they're carbon. On them, I've got some specialized body geometry grips in sort of an ergo design. I find it helps with my palms quite a lot. I'm running a 40mm stem, pretty short, but it kind of works with the geometry of the bike pretty nicely. So the brakes I'm running are Dior XT. I've got a 180mm rotor up front and 160 on the back. I find this gives me a bit more power on the steeper descents on the front, and also means I'm not locking up the rear wheel too much with the 160 on the back. So the group set I have on this bike is SRAM Eagle Axis. I've got 175mm cranks on there with a 34 tooth chainring. Pedals are also Shimano XT. I find they're really durable. They've got a long lifespan. They're pretty lightweight. I've never had any issues with them at all. I've had them for about a year, so they're getting on a little bit, but still working perfectly. On the rear, I've got a 1050 cassette. It's a little bit overgeared occasionally on climbs, but most of the time, if the climb's any steeper than that, I'll probably end up walking. The cassette is actually a SRAM NX cassette, just because the SRAM Eagle ones are quite expensive. And yeah, so it's a Axis drivetrain, so nice and swift changes with the electronic rear derailleur. Carrying 3 batteries with me, plus the charger, just to make sure I'm not going to run out of juice on the trail. So the extra bits I'm running on this bike, I've got the Exposure Max D Mark 14 front light, which will pump out a lot of power, and it's got great battery life as well, so I really get on with that front light. Again, the rear light is also an Exposure. It's the Exposure Blaze. Again, huge battery life, a lot of power, really just does the job. I'll be running a hydration pack as well on my back, so I've got a lot of water in there, food, just loads of food basically. Attached to that, I'll also run my spot tracker. I've got a Generation 4 spot tracker. Again, works pretty well, does the job to be honest. I've got a couple of extra bits fitted to this side of the bike. I've got a Presta Tools mini pump, some tubeless plugs and a can of CO2, just to make sure I've got quick access to the things that are going to go wrong most likely. So I'm running the Tailfin AeroPack on the rear. That's with the alloy arch. It's a slightly smaller arch than the regular one. It means I can make the most of the use of the dropper post, which on the steeper terrain around here, descending, it gives me a lot more maneuverability around the bike. In there, I've got my sleep system, which consists of a bivvy, a sleeping bag, a roll mat, and then a couple of clothes to sleep in and a few miscellaneous spares. I'm running the 1.5 litre Tailfin top tube bag with the flip top. I really like the flip top. It gives me a lot easier access inside the bag. In there, I've got 2 portable chargers, a charging cable, and a massive bag of sweets. I'm also running the Tailfin Downtube bag. In there, that's got pretty much all my spares, tools. I've got my spare batteries in there, my charger, an inner tube, sun cream, little things like that are going to help just make the ride ever so slightly smoother. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about the bike or the Tailfin bags, make sure you drop a comment below.